Quiet quitting has been going around as a buzzword on TikTok and the internet at the moment. But for autistic individuals, quiet quitting isn't just a trend, it is a way of survival within the workplace. Unfortunately, often seen as being lazy or not trying hard enough. If you don't know what quiet quitting is, the definition tends to be seen as people who only do what is within their job description. They don't do any more, they don't do any less, and it is seen almost from neurotypical people's point of view as a protest against the capitalist society we live in and the unreasonable expectations that are placed on us within the business. And I'm not denying that that is a fact. However, for autistic individuals, often quiet quitting is literally how we survive in the workplace, because for some, they don't recognize the unspoken rules that are put upon you when you start in a new job, whether that's staying late, whether that's working more hours than you are paid for, or going to extra events outside of work, taking on extra projects that you're not asked to take on. So sometimes it's just as simple as not realising that those rules are there. But for a lot of us, it is understanding those unspoken rules and then trying to meet those expectations and give 110% when we are not able to remain at that level without burning out. Once that burnout hits, we then end up in a place where we're unable to work, we may need time off, we become unreliable to the company that we're working for, we're seen as incapable, someone that you can't depend on, or who's not interested in the job that they are in. But that's not true. A lot of autistic people just need to know exactly what it is that they are supposed to do and don't understand or even realise that there's an expectation to do things outside of what their job role and description is. And on the other aspect, like someone like me, I have been stuck in a cycle since school, not even just work, it was educational based, where I would put 110% in. I would start the school year, I would be keeping up with all of my homework, keeping up with all my work, my books would be in order, they would be neat, and I would then completely reach burnout and I wouldn't be able to cope. I would end up off school. I missed a lot of school because of this, and I would do and repeat that pattern over and over and over again in life, and I still struggle with this in work. It's difficult, but often it's seen as being lazy, and quiet quitting has been framed as this idea of people who just don't want to work anymore, despite the fact that they are working and they're doing the job, they're just not doing things they're not being paid for. But I do think that we need